Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I am actually not anywhere near water. I am actually at a storage unit, and I am here to talk about something that is long overdue, something that I really wish I would have done when I started kayaking. Is I am going to go over my kayak and what it is that I use out there. You know, as you've seen the channel progress, you see me go to Walmart and buy all these, you know, baits or buy these rods and reels and so forth. But I never really talked about the kayak and never talked about, you know, what has helped me along the way and just providing tips. It's usually just me out there casting and trying to get the biggest bass possible. But today, that's what we're gonna do. We are actually gonna go over the kayak and go over things that I wish I would have known when I first started. So without further ado, this is a Pelican. It is a 10-foot kayak. I got it from a buddy of mine. Shout out to my boy Danny. This kayak was his old kayak. He bought another kayak, and this one was just kind of taking up space outside. So I loved, he let me use it before, and I love the fact that it was super light. This thing is under 40 pounds. Now, why that's important is because a lot of places that I fish, a lot of places that I go to, I need something that's going to be really lightweight and something that I can actually carry. When you're pulling a 75, 80 pound, 100 pound kayak, I mean, it is a character builder. Let me tell you, it is not easy. So the lighter definitely helps. Now, I will say that the lighter the kayak, the less durable it can be. The plastic might be a little bit more thinner in some places, and you might end up with some holes or some scrapes that will really affect the durability of the kayak and perhaps even spring a leak. But I haven't had no issues with this kayak. So let me get a little bit into some of the tips that I wish I would have known, or that have really helped me along the way as I've been kayak fishing. This paddle here, you can get anywhere. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Academy, but I will tell you, this little thing right here is your friend. This little thing right here actually helps the water. So when you're going through the water and you're paddling and all the water is, this is completely wet and water is coming down, this actually stops it from getting on your hands. Not only does it stop it getting from your hands, but it stops it from getting on you, stops it from getting all over your pants, and stops it from getting inside the kayak. So definitely something that you want to look for when buying a paddle. Now, I purchased a lot of these little things on the kayak. This I put on there, and this is just a holder. It definitely comes in handy because when you're actually you know, dealing with a fish, unhooking a fish, or changing baits, you know, you want to be able to have it your hands free. So that I had purchased. This I also put on here. It did not come with these handles. You can get these at Walmart as well. This I actually purchased at Walmart. You can actually, and it already came with the hole, but you can actually, it comes with this as well. And I purchased this here at Walmart as well. It just slides right in there. This can be a nuisance sometimes. You want something that's gonna be able to pop out and not something that's fixed to the kayak. Reason being is because when you get in the kayak, sometimes you'll kick it over with your leg, or you'll get stuck with your foot on there, and you know, it might tip you over. So you definitely wanna be aware of that. This little net I also got, I think, at Walmart or Academy, but this fills up with water too. So when it does, you know, I like to have, it's a little pocket right here. And you can put, you know, your drinks in here, or bait, or whatever you want, but it just keeps it out of the water. This is super important, and you might be laughing because it's not an anchor. It's actually a weight that you use to work out. The reason that I have that is because an anchor is crucial when you are kayaking. The reason being is because you could be in, you know, 20 feet of water, 10 feet of water, and not near a bank, and the wind just kicks up. Wind is so unpredictable when you're on the water, and when it kicks up, it'll throw you everywhere. So along with that, I will tell you, this little contraption right here is a must-have. This right here is where you put the string through, and it'll actually hold your kayak in place, right? Instead of you actually putting it on your wrist or just hooking it onto here, you're able to control the length of the rope and the depth that you have for your anchor. So definitely you need to get one of these. I will tell you, the placement of this is crucial. You should have one on both sides, but it should be towards the back and not at the front. This, I had put this on a long time ago when I first got the kayak, and I still use it, but when you have it in the front, and the wind starts kicking up, it'll turn your kayak backwards, and you will be facing the wind. And the reason you don't want that is because maybe you're trying to fish somewhere and you know, when the wind kicks up, it's going to push you away. It's going to push you the opposite direction, and it's basically going to have you backwards. You're going to be casting into the wind, and you don't want that. So put it, you know, here or here if you can, and save yourself a lot of the headache. This seat here also, for a long time I just used a regular towel, and you know, I'd put a towel in here, and because it's a sit on top kayak, but I used a towel, and I finally just went to go get one of these seats, and I had this for a couple of years. You can get these at Walmart. You can also get these at Academy. They're super cheap. Another thing for insurance I would definitely recommend is just a bottle of Flex Seal. I know that's kind of funny. You can get these at H-E-B, you can get these at Walmart. This you know, has come in pretty handy, you know, when you're out dragging your kayak on the rocks, and you know, you just want to spray it real quick, wait like 5-10 minutes, and you're ready to go, you're ready to roll. So they do sell the little cans like that, which definitely come in handy. But I will tell you, this is a sit up on top kayak, and they have different kinds of kayaks. The other kayaks that are out there are the sit inside kayaks, and they're just a little bit less stable. I found, you know, they could be a little bit more narrower, but you got to remember, you're sitting inside and possibly sitting below the water line, so tipping over is more likely than it would be on this. I find that you are more stable on something like this. Also, I like these because, you know, if you get a leak, you know, it's going to go through even if it's a small one, it's going to go through, and you know, you're not going to get wet. If you're in a sitting kayak and it pops a leak, you're going to get super wet. And also, they're a lot harder to get out of the water if they do actually go under. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for a kayak. So the last and final tip I will tell you is probably the biggest one of all. If you are looking to get into kayak fishing, do yourself a favor, go to Walmart, go on Facebook Marketplace, go somewhere and buy a cheap kayak. And the reason I say that is because you do not want to be that guy that buys a $4,000 Hobie and only to sell it 2 months later on OfferUp for $3,000 because it's something that you thought you were going to use and you never ended up using it. Kayak fishing is not for everybody, especially in South Texas when you get those droughts going and water level is not predictable. So you're got to drag this thing, you know, 100 yards, 200 yards, you know, and remember, you know, to get where the fish are and to be where places that, you know, not everybody fishes, sometimes you got to be, you know, that half a mile trip might turn into 6 miles, and you got to bring this bad boy all the way back. So keep that in mind when buying a kayak. The first one, you're gonna mess up, you're gonna scratch, you're probably gonna get a hole, it's gonna get punctured, it's gonna get broken, it might even melt. But at least you know that it is something that you want to do, and it's a hobby that you know you want to get into. And that's really why I started off the channel. You know, I started off the channel to actually you know, show people what I've been doing and that you can get into the sport for cheap. I think this one I paid only $100, something like that. It's an older model. It's something that I even if it gets stolen, I didn't spend a whole lot of money on it. You know, I would definitely miss it because it's super light, but again, you know, it's something that that I love taking everywhere because it's so easy and so light and versatile that I can take anywhere. Again, that's not to say that Hobies are bad or, you know, the $2,000 kayaks are horrible. Absolutely not. The kayaks that you can stand up on, excellent, are awesome kayaks. You know, they're like mini boats, and a lot of people do get them because, you know, it's a lot easier to get a kayak in some places than it is to get a boat. But you know, those kayaks, you know, they do come with a hefty price tag, and if it's something that you're not going to use, you know, why spend the money to do it? So I appreciate your time, guys. I am actually going to be headed to a river tomorrow, and we're going to put this thing to the test, and we're going to go out there as we always do, try to look for some slanches, try to look for some mondos, and hopefully we will get on them. Really looking forward to the trip because the weather is beautiful outside. It is probably in the low 80s, if not high 70s, and the only concern that I do have, again, like I was talking about before, is the wind. Wind really affects kayaking. You will know the next day because your arms will be, or your shoulders will be on fire. But still, it is something, you know, we got to put in the work to make that happen and to catch them bass. So the next clip you will see is going to be me on the water. I appreciate your time, guys, and stick with me. Let's get them. I am here in the Texas Hill Country on a beautiful river. I hold this place near and dear to my heart. This is one of the first places that I learned to kayak, and you can check it out. It is absolutely amazing. Here in the Texas Hill Country, less than an hour to get out here, and it is beautiful. Couldn't ask for better conditions, except the fact that we have no sun. So it was drizzling a little bit earlier, but I expect the bite to be on. We are in largemouth territory. We are in their habitat. So I do see a bunch swimming around. Today, what I'm working with, as always, I got my Cincos, I got my crawl. So we'll see if we can't hook into a large one. I'm really hoping that we can hook a tank, but we will see. I do not know, how this water is held up throughout the drought. If it looks full now. It looks about the same. The water level looks about the same as when I last fished here, which was a couple years ago. So I haven't been back since. But it looks amazing. The water clarity is great. Wind is a little high right now, but I expect it to die down as the sun comes out. So wish me luck, guys. Let's see if we can't get on some largies. I hear a little bit of thunder. But there's a bite. A little one. Another bite. Oh man, he got it hard. Oh man, that was a good one. He was trying to dip down in the weeds. That didn't take long. That was all but 5 minutes, if that. Like I said, I expect the bite to be pretty aggressive. I don't know if this place gets fished a whole lot. It's really hard to get back here. But I should have set the hook better on that one. So there's this little channel. It's real shallow on both sides, but there's a channel that runs through that's just carved out rock. And a lot of bass like to hide in there. God, that was a nice one too. I got one on the Cinco. Yeah, that wind is blowing me all over the place. Yeah, there you go. Not bad. Tiny, but there's another one. Tiny little guy. Alright. He likes to dance, but let's see. Yeah, little fingerling. Where's your big brother? Your dad, your grandfather, somebody. I got one. Oh, he's a good one too. Man, he's running. Oh, that is a nice one. Come on. I saw him earlier. Come on. Oh man, that's a fatty. That is a fatty. Stay up. There it is. Fat bass right there. I was just throwing the crawl around, seeing if he would eat. Man, look at that. That is a nice bass. All right, guys, check her out. She's nice. That's a fatty right there. Biggest one from today. Man, that wind is kicking me around. I'm trying to stay stable. Good thing I got an anchor. But let's go ahead and release her. That water's cold. Come on. Oh, she's biting me. Come on, you ready? Oh, there she goes. Yep, a crawl right here in these weeds against the rocks. It's just probably hanging out underneath one of the overhangs and annihilated. I didn't think I was gonna be able to get her in. She was rip and drag and she was pulling it. Thought for sure she was gonna pop off, but no. Luckily I got her in the boat. All right, let's see if we could top that. Guys, I'm gonna have to end the video there. Man, unexpectedly, this huge windstorm came in and I could not even stay in one place. Even though I have an anchor, you can hear it. Yeah, I apologize for the wind, but yeah, you can hear it. It kicked up really, really bad. So, you know, I was working this edge over here where there's a lot of dead trees, and you know, it's not a good situation to be in. You really don't want to be in right underneath something like that, because, you know, just a strong, stiff wind, blow it over, and before you know it, it lands on top of you. So overall today, it wasn't bad. You know, I really wish, I mean, I do have more time, but I really wish the wind wouldn't have kicked up like that. Really can't fish the banks because they're real thick with brush, you know, and some of it is really, really steep, so you really can't get, you know, a line out. But overall, you know, I did manage to catch one nice one, so that was pretty good. You know, I caught a couple others I didn't get on video. I thought I've been having issues with my GoPro, so man, you could hear the wind. That wind, I wouldn't be surprised if it was upwards of 30-40 miles an hour. You know, unfortunately, that's just not a safe environment to be in a kayak. And you know, I wish, yeah, would have picked a better day. I've been out here before where the water was like glass, and the fish are, you know, one after the other. The fish are definitely, you know, hungry and biting. With choppy water like that and the wind the way it is, it's kind of hard to have an accurate and a good representation, or actually to see where you're throwing and to see if they're looking at it or not. You know, if it's choppy like this, it's real difficult. But like I said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much for watching, and I apologize, you know, for the short video, the short clip, but, you know, hopefully next time we will get on them and we'll have a lot more time and the weather will cooperate. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you on the next one.